All right, let's bring in Luke Gazdic. Gaz, good seeing you, man. Got to ask you right off the top, is it as bad as it looks? Is it as bad as it looks for this team right now?
Oh, man. Dusty, I'm usually fired up to come on here. It was a stressful night last night. And not even just stressful, it's just like, guys, I don't get to be on the big panels that much, especially in like the playoffs. Like as we go on here, like a Wednesday night national panel like that with a former NHL coach, it's a pretty exciting thing for me. I have the post-game Sportsnet Central hit in the other building. I'm all fired up. They're going to take a split back to Edmonton. Connor's going to walk all over them. It was just none of that. You know me, man. I'm glass half full. This thing is nowhere close to over. But there's just so much to go through. So give me something. I'll tell you off the top of my head a couple of things that come to mind. Great to have Kaner back. Obviously didn't look up to speed, but at least he had 4 hits. Like he was out there trying to mix it up a little bit. I love Trent Frederick. It got to the point last night where, you know what, me and Kev wouldn't do it because I didn't want to show an isolated shift of him. But Friedge decided to show it. Like he's grinding out there, but he looks like he's playing on one leg.
He can't move. Yeah, it's tough.
He doesn't have any explosion out of his stride. You can see he can't turn very well. So you can tell he's clearly battling. One thing I rarely do is, like I just said, on TV or on here, is come on and pick individual players specifically and say they have to be better. But you know, the probably 7 or 8 guys that I'm thinking of that have to be much better. And they were a number of them were on the roster last year in the playoff push last year. Even Nuggie, I'll give it to Nugie. Like Nugie's got to be better. Like he just wasn't 93 last night. The special teams is stunning. Like from the numbers last year, I didn't know how lopsided they were last year. They had a perfect penalty kill last year in this series. And it's just a complete opposite. Like they play this top-down style and they look disconnected. And then on top of things, like Stu's not making the saves. So power play is non-existent. And the biggest thing for me is like, this has kind of been eye-opening, I think, a bit towards the back end of the season and seeing how all the different contending teams like approached the end of the season and even into the first couple games of the playoffs here. Like this team right now, they just have no identity. Like, what are they outside of McDavid and Draisaitl? Like, what are they? Like, I watched Winnipeg's such an easy answer, low hanging fruit, but even St. Louis, like you know what you're going to get every time. And I just think from shift to shift, it's tough because you really don't know when you're sending the next line over, like what are we playing here? Like what is our game? And I'd love them to get back to some version of playing like a fast electric North brand of hockey that was physical and fun. But it's just not that right now. But you know what? In saying that, man, they're going home. This is nowhere far from over. I still think they win this freaking series. You are a shining light in this market today, Gaz. I'm not going to lie. Oh, buddy. Like even Bieksa, you saw Bieksa last night. He actually got mad. I think he was mad. It was either Friedge or Amber because he was like, they said something that was so decrepit. He just looked at them. He's like, series isn't over. They're going back to Edmonton. Are you kidding me? And we were just like, I was like, effing rights juice. Like that's what I'm talking about. But it's certainly, man, like it was just kind of a crappy night. I just kind of expected a different result.
Well, I was stunned because I was very confident that they were going to come out and win that hockey game last night. And then they make it 3-2 and then it kind of falls apart, ends up being a 6-2 game. And you are right. I mean, I said it this morning. They're not done. They're coming home. They didn't lose 2 at home and have to go on the road. They lost 2 at home, or they lost 2 on the road against a very good home team.
And they're coming home against the team that
and they come home against the Kings team that won 17 of their 41 road games this year. So, I mean, the Kings are a sub 500 team on the road, and they're amazing at home. I don't really understand that, but the problem here is that you mentioned the special teams, and if that doesn't get figured out, you could play these games on the moon, and they're not going to win them. How does a penalty kill? And the personnel, I get it. There's no Ekholm and stuff, but last year in the entire Stanley Cup playoffs, which went to Game 7 of the final, they allowed 4 power play goals. They've allowed 5 in 2 games. Is it this 5-forward unit, Gaz, that has them discombobulated, or how do you see that breaking down to be such a major issue early in the playoffs?
Yeah, this isn't personnel anymore. This is straight systems. This is locking those 6 or 7, at least forwards, whoever the DR that are going to play, in a room when they get home, and something changes. Like, they got to run through something on the ice, especially with this 5-forward set. That changes things. Because like I said, it's just so out of whack right now. It's just all over the place. That is definitely, I know the Ekholm thing, but like, you have to make it work with whoever you have here, but they certainly have to change something, because nothing changes if nothing changes. The only thing Knoblauch changed specifically that I've seen is that he loved to come back the last 15 to 25 seconds with McDavid Draisaitl, so that he lines that up against, a tired PK towards the end, try to get some offense. What he started doing is throwing McDavid out to kill, which he hasn't done in a while. So he had McDavid out there second over the boards with Nuge last night. He's like, let's try to pick these guys in a 5-forward set, no defenseman out there. Let's try to maybe have Connor hang around a little bit and try to spark some offense. Didn't work. So it's like back to the drawing board now.
Luke, you did mention in your opening there, one of the points was Stuart Skinner and goaltending overall. I mean, we were at the bar last night. I think we kind of talked, maybe that second intermission was a time to kind of, save face and bring in Pickard. Skinner's smiling, kind of doing a bit of a dance. They're chanting his name. Then he gets yanked at a kind of a weird time in the game. Just your thoughts on that whole episode and this position specifically moving forward into Game 3.
So, I mean, obviously I'm not a coach. I'm with you guys in the sense that I'm yelling at the TV most of the game anyway. And I think he should have taken him out at 3-0.
Yes. Thank you. That's what I said. If you're looking for a spark, do it then.
So me and Kev were sitting there. I always refer to conversations with me and Kev because I think he's such a smart guy. He sees the game so well, and he has a ton of experience through this process. So when he says something, I listen. And as soon as the third one went in, he goes, get him out of there. And same thing, Derek Lalonde. I go, what about you, Newsy? He goes, listen, you need a spark. If that's what it's going to take, get him out of there. So I didn't love him leaving him back in, but they score to get that spark. That's cool. All good. The 3-2 goal was the killer. I think I read, you might have tweeted something about it, the Arvidsson missed bobble. So Knoblauch talked about this post, right? It's like special teams, but he goes, it's mistakes. Like we're making mistakes. That's a mistake from a veteran NHL player that you rarely see. But in saying that, and I'm not picking on Stu, but make a save there. Just like for your team, like those are saves where, that's a sick shot from Kempe, but just like, every now and then you need some big saves from your goaltender that maybe you're not expecting him to make. So I think, stuff like that. But then you take him out in the third, and that's the first question I go, Newsy. So who's starting Game 3? He goes, oh, this is absolutely Pickard is coming home to start. He's getting his touches now for the last bit of the game. I was just like, all right, well, I guess this is where we're going. So Pick did it last year in Vancouver. I guess that's the same thing that Knoblauch wants to do. I just didn't know it was going to happen so fast.
Quick. I mean, we did say we'll probably see both goalies in the playoffs. You just didn't think by Game 3 they'd both have a start. Now, with that being said, at the other end, I mean, last night it was a cruise control evening for Darcy Kemper. Like, they did not make that difficult.
Yeah, they didn't make hard on him at all. I think he made a couple along the way, but what I'm talking about with identity is like drive the net, have some bodies there, 2 or 3 guys all the time. Everything was on the outside. I think I've heard this conversation a couple times now. All LA wants to do is sit in the middle of the ice and keep it to the outside. Even when they buzz and get offensive zone time, you'll see it's all perimeter, right? Like nothing really comes through the middle. Like, start breaking that down. Start breaking that down and getting guys going to the net. That's my only concern or coaching angle is
that as simple?
Figure this out.
The guys who don't have the puck get to the net, and the guy who has it just gets it on net. Is it as simple as that?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Because guys are standing on the yellow, or they're standing far ice to try to get rims, and it's going rim to rim. Yes, let's play more of a power play system where you have almost like a bumper guy in the middle as your F3. just something creative. You have a really good coaching staff of guys there that knows how to score goals and create some offense. So I would be having a long chat today, tomorrow about PK and offensive zone movement generating something.
You did mention, and I know you said you don't like to single guys out, but you did mention Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and we were discussing it this morning. They did go McDavid and Draisaitl together in game 2. And it did lead to a loss. Would you put Nuge with McDavid and Hyman for game 3 and get him back on the wing and maybe try to get him going there, and then put Leon back with the guys he spent most of the season with in Arvidsson and Podkolzin?
At home, 100%.
Okay.
Because you have the favorable matchup. You have last change here. That's the only reason I do it. I think with Nuge, he or his line has to be playing like outstanding for him to center his own line. I think like if you're going to have him center the second line, his game has to be top notch. Putting him back with Connor at home, I think, is the right play. So what they do last night is go 11-7, but they barely play Hellenius and Malotz, and they didn't play that Mo Rivera on defense just for the matchups, right? So they basically ran 2 of their centers, took 86% of their draws, and then they roll 3 lines. So you're going to have home ice here. You get last change. I keep them apart until you don't need to.
Oh, Gaz, we'll see what happens. We're not going to talk to you for 2 more weeks because you'll be on Reed's show next week. But I don't know, man. It's looking pretty bleak. It's looking pretty bleak.
If they make a series of this thing, I'll jump on next week. Let's make this weekly. Like I will not be able to wait 2 weeks without talking hockey with you boys if they go down with a tie here. So we'll see, man. One game at a time, boys. Don't go.
And they're coming home. Hey, like I said to Eric, if they could just win their 3 games on home ice,
they haven't lost on home ice yet.
7,
the Kings are on the road, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. Guys, great conversation, man. Awesome breakdown. And we'll chat with you again soon.
Yeah, talk soon, boys.